to West Africa.
Seat, you bloody egg. Get out of here. I got something important to do.
Sorry.
So I would like to begin the show by acknowledging the traditional custodians on the country on which we're filming and you're streaming today. I recognise their continuing connection to land, water and community. I would like to pay my respects to elders that have passed, those that are present and those emerging, as they hold the memories, the traditions and the culture across the nation. Didn't go to plan, did it, bud?
Yeah, look, you said it wasn't going to break and I didn't believe you.
I did say cardboard would definitely not be soft enough to just push your head through. But I'm actually really happy that I was right, because it was going to be one of those moments, either I was correct or you were correct, and I always prefer when I am correct.
Of course. Everyone does. Yeah, I just figured I had a hard enough skull that it was going to work.
It is a fine, good-looking skull.
I think I messed up the line, though. I think it's Here's Johnny, isn't it?
It's Here's Johnny, yeah.
Here's Johnny.
Here's Johnny.
It's definitely that.
And he's like peering through the bathroom.
He's like, hello, Deb. Give me the bat, Deb.
Oh, God. So welcome to Superlate Show, Episode 5. This week we're mixing things up a little. As you can tell, we don't have our usual host. In fact, we have a new one. I dare say, I think, frankly, you're better looking. I don't know if you're going to be funnier, but I guess time will tell.
Oh, thank you.
So I've been told that St Johnny is currently on leave, diffusing and de-escalating a situation in Eastern Europe, I think, as part of a joint operation between ASIO and Five
No, we weren't authorised to.
Oh, we weren't meant to talk about.
No.
Okay, so whatever he is or isn't doing.
Yeah, a good one.
Happy we've got you. What size waist are you? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, okay. My name's David. My name's Dabby Boy, to those who know me. 363 days of the year. I am an avid gamer, and I love first-person shooters mostly. Although I did get Destiny 2, I've been doing a Warlock main run through at the moment because the game was free, and the new COD plays like trash. And the other 2 days of the year, I'm a devout Pentecostal Christian.
Only 2 days?
Yeah, that's all you need. And yeah, I really love gardening. I do a bit of music. I love me music. Love all kinds of arts. Big into arts, big into festivals, big into any kind of creative pursuit, this one. And also love gardening, like I said. Orchids, I do love a good orchid.
I love orchids. They're actually my favourite flower.
Really?
A little bit of a tidbit,
Put that away. Definitely have to remember to get you some orchids then.
Oh, look out. I quite like this new dynamic.
A couple of epidendrums, eh? A couple of orchidaceae. Or however you say it, I know it's got the AE in it. Yeah. Oh, did you hear about the new, we got a new El Presidente?
Actually, I did hear about that. Breaking news as of today, I believe. I'm surprised it's actually been getting very little media coverage.
I mean, I was absolutely shocked. It wasn't even in the Courier Mail or the Australian. No one's been talking about it.
Just Jim Boomba local newspaper.
I saw that. That's where I saw it. Yeah. I mean, are you pumped about it? The new appointment?
I frankly can't think of anyone that I think would be better suited to the job.
Yeah.
I think it's really
Okay.
good, potential to get us back on track.
Okay. Well, I mean, personally, I know the incumbent is a bit of a massive dingus, and I don't want to defend anything he's done in the past, but I just think, the petals had already fallen and the flower bed was already long been made before he came into office. So, but anyway, whatever. I'm just happy that we're moving on realistically.
Well, whatever side you're on, we want to give a massive congratulations to the new president of the Queensland Orchid Society, Barry
Good on you,
Cabell.
Barry. Good on you, Barry. Honestly. Yeah, let's hear it for Barry. Yeah. Getting us back on track. Seriously. Look at those epidendrums. Did we get that picture up? Look at them. Look at that.
Beautiful.
There he is.
Barry, what a
Buzzer.
legend.
Bringing a bit of class back to the office, I say.
Hopefully, fingers
Yeah.
crossed, fingers crossed. So today we have a jam-packed show,
Ooh.
packed with jam. Not actually jam, but many, many great acts. So to begin, I guess we should say that we are going to be giving away a double pass to Yonder 2020 this evening.
For free?
For free.
My button's undone.
Free real estate.
Yeah.
Always check before you go on cam, baby.
So how, Yonder Festival, when's that happening?
So the end of this month.
I know.
Very,
but-
very, very soon,
Yeah.
actually. So to give away this double pass ticket,
Mm.
we're going to do a little bit of a competition in the Twitch chat.
Chat.
So essentially,
Chat.
we'll be getting the chat up a couple times this evening. We want to hear from you. Who would you bring if you won this double pass and why? So I guess as the show's progressing, Lincoln, our intern, will be getting up his top 3 favourite answers. Dave and I will be reading them live on air. If we can't agree, then we're going to put it out to the studio audience, a bit of a yell for which one they think should win. And we'll settle it at the end of the episode who gets the double pass. So start typing if you've got a good story on who you're going to bring and why.
Wait, so all chat needs to do is put a pog in the chat and then also put, well, they don't need to do that. I would prefer it if they did that. But all they need to do is just type out a couple words and then they can win 2 tickets to Yonder Festival in a couple of weeks.
Well, I guess who they want to bring and why. We're going to pick the best person, but you could just say, I'm going to bring me and my best friend. But that would be boring and you'd be letting us down. So please don't do that.
Cool. Well, that's exciting.
Give us a story, set the
get
scene.
thinking.
I want adjectives.
But we'll remind you later on as well before we call it. But, first in, best dressed. Early bird gets the worm, as they say.
No, the best bird gets the worm.
The best dressed.
The best bird with the best story gets the worm.
Oh, yeah, that best story, that one. Who have we got first up?
So first up, we're actually going to be hearing from Yonder Festival two times. So first up, we're going to have Lincoln and Genoa, which I'm very excited for. I'm sure you're going to wreak havoc on them. Then afterwards, we're going to be hearing from Finn and Anita. So you've got 2 very interesting interviews on your hands.
They're mine tonight.
Both of them.
That was tonight.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I hope you have prepared, but I'm worried for
definitely.
all of us if you haven't. Then we're going to hear up from the lovely James who works with Vice. We've got Theatre of Thunder doing a pretty crazy performance and I have to dress up to interview them. So
That
I will
is
be having to
looking
do a very quick
amazing.
costume change. Very, very, very excited for that one. Then up we've got Lake playing with some smooth sounds this evening, which also is brilliant. I was here for sound check and it was lit. Very excited, very excited.
I could feel
will
that,
have a beer
in
during
my
that.
loins.
In your loins.
Yeah.
Moist loins, as always.
No, not moist. Doesn't need to be sexual, but just down here in the belly.
I'm going to leave that. I'm going
Okay.
to put that on a shelf. Just leave it there for
Shelve
1
that?
second.
Yep,
Yeah,
sure.
we're going to shelve it for now. Oh, God. Then we're going to be hearing from Alia, one of my friends from Repping Reptile. She's bringing a black-headed python in.
Oh,
and we're
yes.
going to do a little bit of an art off who can draw the best snacky.
A snack.
A snack.
I'm a snack.
And then we've got Trent Wildman again. For those of you that watched last month's episode, he was on talking to us about cut and cook. But tonight he's actually going to be making us some delicious pizzas. Hello? I can't speak right now. Pizza party.
Who touched my spaghetti?
And so as we're sort of cutting to the house band, which we have, the beautiful, beautiful eggs, the camera's going to do a pan, if you will, over to Trent making some
Deep
delicious
pan.
pizzas, and we will get to eat them throughout the evening, which I am also very excited
We get to
for.
eat them?
We
Oh
get
my
to eat
God.
them.
You didn't tell me this. You didn't tell me about all the perks.
Looks like we're going to house band now.
All right.
I'm in the darkness. House band, please.
Can I have that?
What?
Can I have that? Amazing. Every time. Gets me every time. Okay, here we are. Lincoln Savage, Yonder Festival Director, right here. Welcome. And Janella Ung, Yonder Festival Producer. Welcome.
Wow.
Let's get a little round of applause, please, everybody. Yeah. How are you both feeling? We're pretty close to the event now. I know it must be coming up pretty fast. What are your vibes? You feel like you've got it under wraps, or you're still feeling like it's getting a bit tense, or does it kind of dissipate as it gets closer?
Probably about a 5.5 out of 10, stress-wise. About you, Janelle?
8, 9.
9? Turn it up to
The
11.
stress I've put on myself. But no.
But the
excited,
process,
more
I mean, how's it been this year? Like the process leading up to it, has it been fairly, I guess, reasonable considering the circumstances? You know, the virus.
The virus.
The virus.
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 Sorry. Super D&D.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've heard about your D&D
I think
exploits.
Lincoln can talk about how...
Look, it's always been challenging putting on a festival, you know, especially a small boutique festival with like a number of logistical infrastructure challenges. But the pandemic is obviously something that no one expected and has obliterated so many festivals all around the world. You know, we're pretty lucky and grateful that we live in a country that can literally just close its borders and lock it out and deal with it. So, you know, we didn't think we were going to be able to go ahead this year, but things changed and we are.
Yeah, I think I'm not the only one that thought festivals were a thing of the past, a bygone era. So it's honestly very, I don't know, inspiring to know that you have still been able to push through all of the roadblocks that have been set up there, and you've just bounded over all of them, and then the lineup dropped, and I was like, it's happening. 2020 is saved. So thank you.
I mean, this show started because the festival team had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And we didn't think we were going to be able to do a festival. So we started a late show.
Yeah.
But everyone's so keen for a festival, not just our team, but like the audience are as keen as, like, people have missed festivals all year. And this is probably one of the first contemporary music festivals coming back in Australia.
Yeah, 100%. Did you mentioned, you know, you've got Superordinary and also, you know, Brisbane Street Art Fest, and I know you did the virtual thing for BSAF as well. Can you give the audience and I a little background on like the ethos and direction that you drive Yonder Festival, that really drives the, you know, has been the driving force this year? Yeah,
Yonder started and has always been about providing a platform for emerging artists. So that's music and performance and visual art. And the concept has always been around trying to make it a, you know, it's more about the experience than having really big names or trying to have that commercial aspect to it. It's always been like, how can we make people feel comfortable in a supportive environment, and using the arts as kind of like a joiner of sorts.
Yeah, so people coming together to
It's very inclusive.
soak up the arts rather than
Then
140
be
BPM.
cooler than
Yeah.
other people is like to immerse yourself in everything in art and stuff. Yeah, I feel like
Actually,
that.
that's
Yes.
interesting. I know I wanted to get a few tidbits, Janella, on your festival experiences in Singapore. and how they differ to like producing festivals in Oz. We were talking before, and I know Laneway was in SG for a little
Yes, it was.
bit. Did you get to
a
go to
couple of
Laneway
years.
in Singapore?
I went to one, and I might have snuck into another one.
Just,
What?
just stumbled
You
into
do
Laneway.
fence jump in Singapore.
No.
Are your
But-
parents watching this?
Maybe.
Oh, sir.
Oh,
this is
pizza!
what is this?
Oh, wow.
Classic margarete,
Margarete.
yeah, Bolton style.
Oh,
I
thank
heard
you,
it.
sir.
Wow.
Yeah, you're going to have to mute my mic for this one, though.
It's really hot, so.
Okay, well,
check
look.
for a bit.
Yeah. We'll
Thank
finish this
you.
up. Look at that. Oh, my
Thank
God.
you. Cut and cook.
Wow, thanks, Trent.
Not bad.
No bad at all.
Did you go to Laneway in
yes.
Australia as
Oh,
well?
yes, I did.
What
once.
were the differences there? Was there like a size difference or like?
Yeah,
The one thing that comes to mind is maybe like the Australia one was heaps dirtier,
Is slightly dankier.
a little bit
A
danker.
little bit dankier. But in Singapore, it's very commercialized, very packed. It's like there's no room to walk at all. But like when I went to the one here, I was like, whoa, so much space in the showgrounds.
Oh,
I was like,
cool.
wow, this is amazing. And like there's more acts here. Like the one in Singapore, they will cut it down and streamline it to like not as many Australian acts as like the one here. So it was a big difference, and like we don't really have a lot of small boutique festivals in Singapore. There's no camping festivals. I had to go all the way to like Malaysia just to like do a camping one or like a better, bigger one. But
It's like a big part of the experience.
yeah,
It's like staying
camping
there with
and
everyone,
like getting to know
Interesting.
other people.
And I did hear about a metal band being
A metal band.
Band?
I cannot remember the band, but the like because Singapore is very like how do I say it's very there's a lot of censorship. It's not people don't really support local artists as much as you do here, I feel. And so like when this band wanted to come and play, but like a lot of people like signed a petition and like they were banned because their songs were like too satanic or like I don't know. Like they don't appreciate interesting bands and like interesting and weird things.
Do you want to bring back some of the things you've learned and done in Australia to Singapore?
Yeah, definitely. I would if I do need to go back, I would want to kind of start something there. Like there has been like smaller festivals, but they're not very sustainable there as well. Like there was one festival that was like 100 band festival, so they did it like in a small park in Singapore and over a couple of days and had like 100 bands in Singapore. But like it's kind of cool. It's like very small, very like in like like the streets in Singapore, they will like block a street and have like a festival there too, but it's nothing like yonder.
Sure.
Yeah, so
Like a,
working
like a
on
block
this.
party.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or it's like the Singapore Night Festival or like something a bit more commercialized, but it's never like yonder, which is refreshing. So yeah, I'm very glad to be a part of this.
And with this festival that you guys are putting on in a couple of weeks, what is one thing that you think has been like a positive, different, unique experience to the environment that you've had to put it together this year? Whether that's like a challenge you've had to overcome that has streamlined the process in some way or something like that.
I think we're so used to having challenges that our whole team they're kind of good at adapting and innovating, and it forges part of the experience. You know, a lot of the bigger commercial festivals, they're a lot more risk averse and it's more challenges, whereas we're much more flexible. We just want to make it happen. We want to be there. We want to have our friends around us and do this thing. And so it's got there's a community aspect to it that's really, really powerful.
And a communal aspect to it as well. Everyone's chipping in.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally. I mean, festivals don't exist without that in anywhere, I don't think.
That's awesome. And what about you, Janella? Have you got any like little shortcuts that you've been able to figure out because of the hardship or the virtual new normal? That's a buzzword that we're now in. Do you do virtual? Have you been out on site? Do you do virtual? Do you have like a little Janella robot out there with an iPad on it, and you do like a little site visit on a robot or anything like that?
No, I have not thought that far.
Do you have any acts that you're looking forward to?
A
Probably a heap, hey.
lot.
But you'll be working, of
But
course.
I'll be
Of
working.
course.
I can't
Couple
appreciate.
questions from the chat.
Oh.
So the first one is, are there any new rules the festival has to obey because of COVID?
We have a 92-page COVID plan approved by state government, and I'm going to eat some when I'm off the mic. But to be honest, it's what we are getting used to now. Like, you go to any bar, any gig at the moment, and you got to socially distance. You got to stay 1.5 meters apart. We've got a crazy cleaning cycle and all the amenities, all the shared services. And current direction in Queensland is no dancing. I'm fingers crossed that will change before the festival, and it may. But that is also a thing where you've got to stand still while you're watching a band, which is awkward for everybody.
Very hard.
But it's not so bad because it's a giant festival site and everyone's camping in their own tents. So the distancing isn't too much of an issue on site.
Next up, we've got, what's your favourite thing about organising festivals?
Being at the festival.
The rush. Yes, I think like having a good team, like everyone's working very hard on this festival, and like to see it all come together at the end of it, it's like a baby being born. It's very nice.
Yeah,
to have.
the friendships,
Yeah.
the people that we work together become pretty close. Like, we all kind of like
Yeah.
experience this thing together.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, I think that's
Any more from chat?
chat.
Another good one is actually how many people are coming to the festival?
There is a 1,000 person capacity dictated by our COVID plan. So no more than 1,000 tickets will be sold, and they are currently almost sold out. So they'll sell in the next few days, next week. And they also, obviously, if you just tuned in, there's a ticket giveaway tonight. So we are giving 2 free tickets via the chat.
They're worth like
$600.
$600.
So if you want to win those tickets, all you need to do, jump on the chat, tell us who you'd bring along to Yonder Festival 2020 and why. And what we'll be doing is picking out the
We're very
best
excited
ones.
over there.
Oh my gosh.
That was very
Oh wow. So, 2 free tickets to Yonder Festival. Jump in the chat, give us your story, who you'd bring and why. You could be the winner. Thank you very much, Lincoln. Thank you very much, Janella. It's been a pleasure talking to you, finding out more about your process, and I'm very excited to see you on site. I can't wait.
Thank you, Dave. See you on
Yay.
site.
See
Take us
you
away,
on
house
site.
band.
Actually, so good. I like catch myself singing that song around the house. I'm like, da-da. Thank you. God bless.
That was
God
incredible.
Bless. We appreciate you. So, James, my dear, I thought we might just
Hello.
start out with the obvious. So, tell me what you do. How long have you worked at Vice?
So my name's James. I work at Vice. I'm a journalist there and a creative. I've worked there for about 2.5 years, and the work I do covers sort of like documentaries, articles, editorial, a bit of art direction, stuff like that. And also, shout out to the pizza chef.
Trent Wildman, you bloody
bellissimo.
legend.
This is
Yeah.
chef's kiss, baby. Chef's kiss. This
I
is
never
good.
wear lipstick, and I put it on tonight, and then
Yeah.
I found out Trent was
Likewise.
coming and cooking pizzas, and I was like, fuck my life. Next time. So how do you go about landing such a sweet gig? Because I've actually had a few friends when I said that you were coming on the show, they were like, oh, I've always wanted to work for Vice. Like, how do
Right.
you get that?
Right. I like to refer to myself as sort of the Stephen Bradbury of journalism. I just seem to find myself in the right place at the right time, and everybody falls over, and I slip in and seem to land these opportunities. But outside of like being in the right place at the right time, I guess you just got to continue developing this desire to find interesting stories, and not necessarily bellissimo.
More
Molto
pizza.
bene, grazie, bello.
It's a little baby.
Grazie, grazie.
Little Bella, little
I know, I should
little-
hold it up,
little
but let's
bambino.
just get the camera on that a bit over there. Yeah, beautiful.
Hey, up
What
and
a
under.
cute little
Oh my
boy.
God.
She's beautiful. Look at this.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Thought I'd make a little kind of baby one.
Thank you so much.
You guys are welcome. Sorry to take too much of the interview time.
Not at
No,
all.
this-
Always,
Pizza guy.
always a
This
pleasure.
is the hot content right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
So good.
But yeah, look, you just got to develop the desire to hunt for interesting stories, and you got to develop your own voice when it comes to writing or art direction or direction in general. And you just got to back yourself, and if you do it, eventually someone's going to give you a break.
So I guess tips would be very good looking and very lucky. Right place, right time. And
Absolutely.
then also work hard work.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually true. Like, yeah, you do have to put in the hours. Like, it's yeah, I probably put way too many hours into it. But when you love it, like, it's something that you want to do. It's a passion.
It's
So,
it's like a passion project, but it's
Yeah.
your job as well. I think
Exactly.
that's arts in general. It's
for sure.
compared to the hours most people in the arts put in, hourly
It's
wage is
insane.
not great.
It's
but,
insane.
But
And,
you
like,
love it.
Yeah, and I'm sure like Lincoln and the Yonder team would attest. Like, you don't do these things just because you want to have a job. You do them because you genuinely want to, whether it's writing an article or putting on a festival, you want to have an impact in your community and you want to give people something that they can enjoy.
Yeah, of course. So I guess circling back to having an impact in your community, I heard you're actually working on a pretty amazing documentary at the moment.
Yes.
And I was wondering if maybe you could just tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the moment, Vice is co-presenting a documentary. It's with a large push has come from the youth workers from Anglicare Southern Queensland who do really amazing youth work. Basically, the documentary follows 5 young people who have gone through the juvenile detention experience. And we've basically hooked them up with 5 of Australia's top producers, and they've gone on this sort of mentorship training experience where they learn to develop their skills as songwriters, producers, artists, and we follow that journey. And basically, not only do we see these young people really fall in love with music and get to experience what it's like to have someone back them in that way meaningfully, it also kind of makes this case that, perhaps creative pathways can be more meaningful in, correcting experiences than just, locking up young people.
100% they are. It's funny,
Yeah.
I actually wrote a paper many years ago about, this is not art related at all, but it was about outcomes of kidney disease and I guess the best way to getting a positive health outcome in Indigenous communities.
Yeah.
And every single study found that community outreach programs was the way to do that. And I
Absolutely.
think that is mirrored across a lot of these issues.
Yeah,
It's like,
totally.
you can't expect someone to be better by locking them in a worse situation. That's never going to solve the problem.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. And yeah, I think creativity can be such a meaningful pathway, out of situations that, people are basically born into, and it's through no fault of their own that they're, having to deal with them, because when you can give people the tools to express themselves, you give them a level of freedom that, is just, a beautiful thing.
We've got a question in the chat from, it's like turquoise, but it's twerkquoise.
That's the username?
Yeah.
Shout out Twerkquoise. That's
Yeah,
a great
yeah.
name.
Are you finding it hard to write about things during the pandemic? Any lack of external stimuli?
That's a really good question. Thank you, Twerkquoise. I would actually say that the pandemic has been a really inspiring time because it's been such a huge paradigm shift. It's, you know what I mean? It's broken the monotony of what's just been going on for a while. So you can basically pick any category. Let's just say relationships, for example. The stories that you would write about relationships through the lens of a pandemic all of a sudden are so different.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like dating, sex, drug use, like, you know, so many, you can basically pick any category and filter it through the lens of the pandemic
It's a
and
whole new
find
thing.
angles that you would not be able to find otherwise. So I found it very inspiring for that reason. And, you know, I've got a feeling outside of just my line of work that we're going to see so many like amazing albums, amazing singles, amazing pieces of art, amazing pieces of journalism come out of this time.
I actually agree. Like even what Lincoln was saying before, we thought we couldn't do the festival this year, so we're like, oh, what else can we do? We're fucking bored.
Yeah.
Let's do a late show about Brisbane arts and that sort of thing. And
Yeah.
we've like had this whole new thing created out of this turbulent situation. It was literally just trying to evolve and adapt to a very shitty situation. Unfortunately, of course, Yonder is at the end of this month, but it's kept us busy, I guess, in the meantime as well, which is good.
Yeah.
The question I had to ask, knowing what you do for a living, what's the best interview you've had and why?
That's a good question. I think the best interview I've had, I've got three, and I'll buzz through them real briefly. The first one was like, you know, like any young journalist, I'm a Louis Theroux fanboy, and I got to interview him once, and I got to hear his beautiful English accent say down a crackly phone line, "That was a good question."
Oh,
And I was just like, yes,
and
I
you
don't
were
need
just
to work
trying to hide
anymore.
the erection you got when he asked that. Yeah,
Exactly. I had to conceal it, and you know, he was unaware, so that was
That's
fantastic.
cool, especially a phone interview.
Exactly. Yeah, that worked in my favor. The other one was I got to interview the late great Charles Bradley right before he passed away. He's like amazing soul singer, par for par, pound for pound, one of the best soul singers I think, you know, America's ever seen. And the way he talked about music, you know, I've kept it with me for years and years. And the third one is a documentary I've done with Vice, which is about the all-female Japanese biker gangs of Tokyo.
Cool.
If anyone at home feels like watching it, look it up. It's amazing. You've got like high-speed drag races on these pink Hello Kitty motorcycles covered in Swarovski crystals, and these girls are absolutely killing it.
How much does it cost to bejewel an entire bike with crystals?
That's a really good question. I don't know. I reckon it probably takes more hours than it does in time. I think these.
I can
may
just
have been
imagine
the,
someone with a hot glue gun like,
Yeah.
fuck, this is taking so long.
Absolutely. Yeah, she would have put hours and hours into it. So they've been my favorite moments.
I got another question from the chat. I would attempt to say it, but I'm scared. So you said it's like pack a lol a kakao. I don't know. Best tips for someone suffering writer's block.
Pakalal akakal. The best tips for someone suffering writer's block is to stop writing. Just don't worry about it. Live your life. Go outside and
Give up writing.
just just literally don't open the Word document. Don't stare at the blank page. You have to go outside. You have to talk to people, and you have to, you know, be open-minded about where you're going to find your next story. And I guarantee you, if you're looking at a blank page, trying to crank it out, and nothing's coming, it's because you're not drawing from a meaningful experience. You need to go out, talk to people, and just the whole time be trying to filter through what people are telling you through the lens of finding that next thing. And I promise you, you'll find it. It's right there, but it's not on Microsoft
I
Word.
actually love that answer because my best mate is a writer as well, and she just had writer's block. Literally packed up a swag
Yeah.
and went and stayed in the bush for
Yeah.
a week.
Yeah.
And like brought a journal just in case she had ideas as she was going, but then came back and had written like a whole bunch more work. And I think that's it. You've got to like live an experience because
Yeah.
you're blocked because you're stuck in this like dark room in front of the computer screen trying to make something.
Absolutely.
I have my best festival ideas for productions when I'm like in a paddock or in the rainforest. I'm like, oh, that would actually be fun.
Absolutely. It's a common thing. And yeah, it's like David Lynch describes it really well. He talks about, you know, finding great ideas is like fishing. You know what I mean? You stay real still. And if you just wait, like it'll appear. Something will jump on your line. You know what I mean? But if you force it, it's
I've
going
got a
to.
quick question because I'm being told to wrap it up soon.
Cool.
So you're also a musician. Like if you
Yes.
can get up image B1. I think he was just out of the room as I said that. No, he's back. Image B1. So I love this photo. You holding your base.
Hey, that's me.
Good looking egg. And
you.
if you can also get up now, image B2 as well. Yeah. So I guess the time between these photos is actually quite long. I did a
Yes.
bit of deep stalking. I went back to some of your earliest photos.
Yeah.
How has your music evolved during this time? And has that also changed how you're interviewing, particularly like artists and that sort of thing that you do now for Vice?
Right. That's a really good question. I would say like my music is constantly in flux. Like everybody, I've got things that I love and gravitate towards. But the way writing and interviewing has sort of influenced that in an unexpected way is that like it exposes you to all sorts of different avenues and walks of life, oftentimes viewpoints that you personally don't agree with. And, you know, as a creative person, that kind of stimuli is kind of the most valuable. Things that push you outside of your comfort zone. Because, you know what I mean, you can draw musical inspiration from films or conversations. I think inspiration hides in the most unlikely of places. So, yeah. And that red guitar in that photo actually belonged to Bruce Springsteen. That was a huge, I'm a Bruce Springsteen fanboy.
Did you buy it on eBay or something?
No, it was at the property of the studio that photo was taken in.
Oh, of course.
So that was probably the best moment of my
A
entire
mate's
life.
dad
strumming
runs a
that bad
studio
boy.
in Brisbane near Cleveland, and they've got a whole bunch of the Beatles' old mics. Like
Oh,
it's
wow.
like such a
No
like I
kidding.
think a thing. If you're in
Yeah.
a big studio, good studio, they're like, I think we should record this track on our old Springsteen
Exactly.
guitar.
Like
It's
John
a
Lennon
selling
breathed
point.
on this.
Yeah,
We're
love
gonna
it.
make a hit with it.
Maybe before COVID, that would have been. So
Yeah.
This is a pre-breathed on microphone.
Yeah.
Now it's a whole
pre-breathed.
different life.
Pre-breathe special.
Thanks so much, you sweet angel.
Thank
I
you
really
so much.
appreciate you
I really
coming to talk
appreciate
to
being
us.
here.
Very
Thank you.
interesting stuff.
Yeah.
House band, if you can play us out with a sweet tune.
Yeah, house band, take it away.
Music, huh? Live music. Gets in the bones
You know why they call it live music?
because it makes you feel dead.
Then we've got the 1 minute of music
and
we're on. So
I really blocked you there. I'm sorry.
Waiting for Anita.
I actually have a little bit here that I was going to read. It's a bit of prose. It's just one stanza.
I'll allow it.
Is that okay, Mr. Finn? Okay. Don't be distracted by St. Johnny's face. Okay. I just want you to pretend that. Oh, Anita's here. We don't have to hear it. Welcome, everyone.
I want to hear it.
Oh, you want to hear it? Okay.
Pros the pros, my bros.
Live music. It gets in the bones, right down in your soul, and brings the blood up to the surface, breathing life into every orifice of your spirit.
That was beautiful. Until
You
the
think?
word orifice. Didn't enjoy that word.
Well, spirits are very porous things.
It's true. My mind's just in
Look,
the
I'll work on it. I'll send you a draft next week.
No, and good live music does do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's true. It is.
Doesn't need to be good if it's true. Let me get rid of that because that's a bit
Most things that are true
Oh no,
are
it's
pretty
just green now.
horrific.
Okay.
I really
Oh.
like. I really like.
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
definitely.
All right.
You get
I like
the hot
it.
stuff.
I like
Because
it.
you're hot stuff. Eh? Okay. We're here now with the music and arts programmers of Yonder Festival, Finn and Anita. Come on, put your hands together. Hell yeah. Programmers, eh? I did a HTML and Java course on LinkedIn Learning last week. Thanks, thank you. Thank you very much. I just got to say, I love your work. When the lineup dropped, I got that prose written down. I'm very, very pumped. How's the programming process been for both of you this year?
It's been wonderful. Anita should start, but I just wanted to point out as well is like we're not by any stretch of the imagination the only programmers. Yonder's a very, very collaborative programming effort, and we wouldn't be where we are without the wide variety of input that we've had from so many different people.
Yeah, we just hassle the artists
Sure.
to get all the stuff together. But yeah, the process has been very different this year because the announcement was so, like, we got the go-ahead so late with COVID. Yeah. So it was just kind of green light, go, and then do everything in a week, it was really fun though to see it all come together so quickly and like such a range of applications because of so little happening this year. Everyone was super keen and so had like incredible ideas, and yeah, it was just super passionate and like really like thoughtful ideas.
Here comes the pizza
Ooh.
train.
This one's got a bit of meat on
My
it.
favorite train.
Forget about it. That's actually a really interesting point because I think everyone's kind of in a mindset where they're innovating as well. You know, everyone's kind of been pushed into that innovation space. So I imagine there are a lot of arts and music acts that are got a lot of brand new content to show off as well, which is really exciting. Anita, I got one for you. I hear that you're definitely a super talented cellist as well as all the arts programming stuff that you're doing as well. Do you want to tell us all a little bit about yourself and how you're fitting into Yonder 2020?
Yeah, I guess so. As well as working on the festival, my little group called Luminescence is playing as well.
Oh, sick.
Which is really special. We love it. It's like our best gig every year. We actually started at a small festival. Like the project started made for a festival, and then we just decided to keep going because the interaction that we got to have with audiences from that experience was amazing, and it's like influenced every single thing that we've done since then. We're even kind of basing our little album and songs, like visual album, around those experiences as well, and the kind of influence that that's had. So yeah, it's really special to be able to like keep being on both sides of the performance and the other side.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a special one for you this year as well.
Yeah.
I guess they're all special, aren't they? Finn, sir, music programmer, one of the music programmers of Yonder 2020. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What I've written down here is, we know your swag, but I think it's time the world knew your story. So Yonder 20.
Yeah.
I didn't give you anything there, dude. I'm sorry.
No, I was just thinking about how deep to go. I guess I have a very long history of working in emerging music, and also particularly on the Sunshine Coast, which is part of the reason that I really enjoy Yonder. Like I grew up about like half an hour from the site. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's like your whole area.
Yeah. It's my whole thing. It really feels like going home each year, and I'm always like very, very careful to know, like keep an ear on what's happening up there, because although there's not a lot of, like there's not as much live music as, cities, but there's been some really incredible like gem bands that have come out of there that are on this year, such as Old Home is like one of my absolute all-time favorite live experiences, spoken word poetry and super awesome like dark guitar rock. And they're playing at Yonder this year, and I think that's a great example of local music that's going to be there.
It's really tricky, isn't it? Generally, festivals will come out of population centres, and even though it's always a great opportunity to showcase local acts, if people are kind of on the regional outskirts of that, the visibility isn't there. So having your history with that place and your connection with that place is fantastic, because you're able to really showcase that. I'm really excited. So is it Old Home?
Yeah, Old Home.
Old Home. Okay.
Yeah. The lead singer of Old Home is a guy named Dylan Sparks, who's a poet primarily, and so he releases published poetry, and then the old home album comes out, and I've bought the poetry and read the poetry, and then you realize that the poetry is the lyrics as well.
That's cool.
And it's really awesome.
I'm
I
definitely
love
on board
that
with
like
that.
experience. Yeah.
Excellent. How did you? I mean, you've kind of touched on that, but did you have any specific approach to your curation this time? Like, what did it look like, I guess, from when you got the go-ahead to now for you?
Well, generally, I like to think that I'm pretty aware of like the bands that are emerging around Brisbane, mainly because I work as a live sound engineer. So, on a normal year, I would be seeing like between 5 and 15 bands a week, just for work.
Busy boy.
Yeah, and so like doing that, you see so much, and you meet people, and then you see people in other bands. But this year there was none of that at all, and I you mentioned before, innovation and pressure to innovate, and the approach this year was I really wanted to try to find people who had been expanding their creative process, trying new things, breaking away from being limited to playing venues, because that does put limitations on what you're doing. But if everybody's just in their room or in their house creating really cool, new, innovative art, not limited to venues, I want to see what that is like. And I wanted to find people that were doing crazy stuff like that. And I feel like we've really done it. There's quite a few bands in the lineup where this is their like first or second gig. There's some artists on the lineup that have definitely been that seem to have been pushing themselves this year. Unregistered Master Builder and Avaxa.
I love that name.
Some, like, yeah.
That's perfect.
Oh yeah, at least he's honest.
Yeah.
And those like acts like that seem to have really expanded themselves this year, despite everything. And so that was a big motivation there. But then, as Anita mentioned, the time restraints were quite tight. So people who came out of the woodwork with a real keenness and a real excitement to come to the festival were definitely easier to just slot straight in.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. But the great thing is that I think that everyone who's playing is truly excited to be there. And that's the dream.
That's good for everyone. The audience is definitely going to reap the benefits there. Oh, Anita.
Oh, Anita, would you like some? There's meat on this.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
I'm celebrating.
Nice. Celebratory pizza.
How was? I mean, when did you find out that it was like, okay, it's game on? I gotta really put the pedal to the metal and start curating the crap out of this festival.
It felt like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, applications, let's go.
Yeah. And because I'm not too savvy on this part of it. What did you just start? Did you already have like, I guess like a list of artists that you were really interested in what they were doing, or did you have like an idea of like the theme that you were going for this year, and then you just started, contacting artists that would kind of fit into that idea, or what did it look like, or was I just completely off the mark with that?
No, it's pretty like multifaceted. So the art side is there's visual arts, workshops, and performances, and they kind of form the whole rest of the festival experience. Beside the music programming, which starts in the afternoon through the nighttime is kind of the focus, but all the workshops in the morning and performances and like roving performances especially really kind of make people's experience and how they interact with other punters and stuff like that. So with like workshops, it's about getting people like creativity going, getting those like their bodies moving, just kind of filling in their daytimes.
And fully immersed in like the experience of it all.
Yeah.
Because I remember that about Yonder last year, is just like every minute of the day, there's something for you to kind of feel fed by spiritually.
Yeah.
But not actually spiritually, necessarily, but just like there's always something there to get the creative juices flowing. How do you pack it out? Like, how do you manage making sure that everyone is going to have something there for them? Like, do you have to have like a checklist? Is there a spreadsheet?
We have a spiritual buffet.
A spiritual buffet, yeah, like a little taster. This is a 2020 vintage.
Yeah, we try to be really diverse with the programming and not discount anything. Just kind of be open to all the ideas. There's two kind of main things, which is working with curators that already exist as well. So we've had like people like Ruckus Slam involved, Voices of Colour, who are a arts organisations already existing in Brisbane, and we kind of just give them the space, and here's a slot, and you can curate it how you like, and that's really refreshing. So that we just get to kind of hand over the reins to them, and they get to use that space in the festival.
Cool.
And then there's the other side, which is people that come forward with applications that are created specifically for the festival, and we'll come up with these whole new performance ideas. And this year we've had so many of those applications.
That's really exciting.
They're really
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah,
Even, like
they're so
not
good.
even just limited to performances. Like bands who come forward and do that really shine out.
Yeah.
I think that it's awesome.
And it's great that they're engaging with you as well. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's super positive.
I think also, can I just say, in terms of like handing over programming, I just wanted to highlight, because we're kind of highlighting it this week. We have some awesome DJ takeovers happening. So we've really kind of handed the reins for the DJ stage over to a lot of our favorite collaboratives and organizations. Black Bear curating a bunch of DJs. Shandy, A Love Supreme, Temple of Odd, and Glasshead are all putting together big like DJ group sets, which I think are just going to be so fantastic.
Just all these little flavors from all these different groups. That's awesome. Oh man, I'm pumped. Gonna need to go to the powder room after this. Okay, we've got a couple questions from chat.
Excellent.
Is that all right? Can I throw it to the chat?
Yeah.
Here we go. We've got any festival event program questions for Anita? Does Luminescence have any online presence? Yes or no?
As in like socials
Yes.
and stuff. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes.
It's
There you go.
Luminescence Strings.
Luminescence
Have fun
strings
spelling luminescence. I might have made a mistake there.
with an
but
at. Evanescence, not Evanescence.
Not.
Uh,
They're good as well.
What do your days look like at the moment organising the festival? And I'm just going to tack on my own there. What does it look like when you're at the festival? Do you get any free time?
At the moment, it's a lot of scheduling, fitting everything in. Like you said before, making sure that it's like packed. Every second of it, there's something to do or there's something going on, which is really fun. A lot of people are really busy with just the logistics side of things and building an entire city in a small private property. Yeah, we
just gotta
get the
fill
easy
it.
side. Yeah.
For me at the moment, I think now that a lot of the booking's over, my next step is I like to go. Bands and acts who have very unique, special things that they want to do. My job now is to really facilitate that. So like different acts want different projections, or extra members going on, extra production, and like Lagerstein want to build this whole like set design thing because they're a pirate metal band.
Yes, I love Lagerstein.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
That my job now is making all of that happen, because I think although at face value it can seem like a lot of work, having those special little things go into the sets not only makes the band feel a lot better, but also just it exponentially improves the experience for the audience.
You guys are just making the connections. Just
Yeah.
patching like Flea.
Yeah. Just like exactly. I try to be like Flea every day.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I rambled on a little bit, but I always love hearing from both of you talk because you have such a wealth of knowledge to share with everyone. Yeah, house band, take us away. Yeah, cheers, mate. Thanks for having me.
Probably the weirdest start to an interview that I have ever hosted, but also the best.
Oh, awesome.
I'm also going to start with a funny side note story.
Yes.
So these dolls behind us, you've actually got a residency here
Yes, we
upstairs.
do.
And you've got a whole pod, and it's right near where the toilets are upstairs.
Yep.
And every time we play D&D quite late, and sometimes it's a little bit spoopy, and I've got to walk past these. All of the lights are off, so you've got to walk past these like glowing white faces that are the only thing illuminated to the bathroom, and I always like run the last few meters because I'm so spooked.
Yeah. So is my son.
I'm just convinced one night it's just going to turn its head at me or something. Like I keep you try and not look just in case it does move.
Yeah, these guys come everywhere with us.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, they're called selfers. They're actually made by my teachers from Oz Frank Theatre, and their faces are actually their original Oz Frank Theatre company. So I know some of these guys, yeah. And yeah, they've been with us for a few years. The last two yonders as well. They've sat on the roof of the shack for the last 2 years, and we always get people coming up to us saying, wow, those guys are so amazing that they sit up there for so long. And do they take shifts? Yeah, the year before we carried them around the festival on our backs.
And do you tell them they're mannequins, or you just say,
I say,
no,
we do shifts, yeah. And yeah, they're pretty amazing. They're meditating.
I love that. I brought my goats to one of the festivals a couple of years ago, and we had this really cool guy come up and say, hey, can I pat your dog?
Yeah.
And I just let him go, but I feel like it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's
They're
the
probably
same.
Whoa, these
It's the
people are so
same.
still.
Yeah, we carried these guys on our backs the year before, and people were coming up to us. You guys are so amazing.
You're so strong.
You're so strong, carrying those guys around on your back for so many hours.
So
yeah.
we've already,
Yeah.
I guess, touched on the fact
Yeah.
you've been doing this for a few years.
Yep.
When did this all start for you? I assume you were always a bit artistic, but were you always sort of artistic in the performance sculpture art?
Yeah, absolutely. From as young as I can remember, I've been putting fabric on the body and making cubby houses. You know, essentially that's what this is. We came in this afternoon and made a cubby house, you know, and luckily we've got our studio upstairs, which is awesome because normally we have to take van loads full of stuff. This is quite a simple installation.
It's very effective though. It's beautiful. I feel like I'm in another world, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's
especially as
quite
the
reduced,
mist was sort of rolling over.
Yeah. It's like there's always so many layers to the work, but even with this piece, it's about how much can we take out, and for us, it's actually a small amount that's left in.
Yeah, I love it. So I guess touching on that again, how has your art evolved in that time? So you said you started with cubby houses, I guess similar to what I did. I used to make forts on the trampoline and that sort of thing. And it's turned into this. Has that changed even the past 5 years from where you started 5 years ago?
Well, I suppose pre-Theatre of Thunder, which is 5 years ago, about there. I think the first Theatre of Thunder performance we did was at Brisbane Street Arts Festival at Jugglers. Yeah, that was kind of our first thing that we did with Lincoln, and since then Lincoln's been such a phenomenal support and friend over the years. But prior to that, my background is fashion design. So fashion design.
That makes a lot of sense with the
theater,
pieces you pull out.
Visual art. So in the end, and then I went into doing Japanese yoga for 10 years, which I'm still been teaching for the last 20 years. So really it's an amalgamation of all of those things. 1990, finished school, what am I going to do? Art, theatre or fashion design. And so then I just found a way, I suppose, through Buto to put it all together, and it's an alchemy. And then I'm doing the body installation, the body Buto installation, and then really where the work alchemizes is with sound artist Luke Yanista, who's not here tonight, but that's primarily who I work with in Theatre of Thunder. He's also a philosopher, so usually it's him that speaks so beautifully about the work.
I've seen him live a couple of times.
Yeah, so tonight we just had his soundscape on. And then the other element is the atmospherics, yeah? So tonight my son Lucius on the atmospherics.
Throwing the snow for us.
And my partner Daya as well, who is, has done all the lighting and the smoke and all the tech. So it's really that's really our recipe. It's like the body installation, the sonics, and then the atmosphere that creates this kind of magic. And it's about having an experience, about non-thinking. Yeah, so it comes really out of, like, I suppose, like from our Zen master, he says to us, no thinking.
No thinking.
No thinking. Yeah.
That is, I
yeah.
guess, a lot of what underpins Buto.
Yeah.
For those that are watching that have no idea what that even is, and I know we
Yeah.
joked about this because
Yeah,
you said,
I said, don't ask me.
I can't answer
Yeah,
it, but like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
guess if you
okay.
could give a very high
Yeah.
level, and I know that you said your
Yeah, so
teacher had a very good saying for
yeah.
this.
So there's a few things. So one, if you talk about Buto, it ceases to exist. Two, if you put Buto on a stage, it ceases to exist. Yeah, so Buto resides in, I suppose, in the cracks, in the in between. Yeah, it's understood as an anti-dance, like everything you think dance is. It isn't. But essentially, Buto is about how to empty the body. Yeah, that's kind of where it comes out of Zen Buddhism. How to empty the body.
That.
Yeah, how to empty the body, which is like impossible to do. But Buto is never about arriving. It's about a state of transformation and transcendence. So we empty the body, we attempt to empty the body, and then we drop images into the body. So all of this that's going on here, equally internally inside the body, there is as much going on. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm building up layers on the outside. On the inside, Buto is about, I suppose, how far, very, very, very far inside yourself you can be, and how far outside of yourself you can be at the same time, the in-between body.
Is it exhausting when you're performing, or sort of
yes.
like meditating?
Yes, it's both.
It's both.
So every time I do this and the getting ready process, I'm like, why do I do this?
Every time.
Why do I do this? And then when you enter it, something happens, and I suppose that's why we do it. And you can't do it without the audience. Yeah, you can't. It's a symbiosis. Yeah, it can't happen without these bodies being here, without these cameras being here, without us being here. So it's very much the audience is involved in that reciprocity.
That's beautiful, actually. I really like that. I know what you're saying about the setting up and the doing everything. I've started like stripping down the installations I do at festivals, because like the carloads you have to take up, like that's a thing in its own, but the hungover packing down is literally one of the most challenging experiences you can have, I reckon. So I thought if they're up for it, we might ask a question. So the question is, what does this performance and creative process mean to you? If you, I don't know if you could.
So we've got a couple of
we need a slug.
on the floor. Slug Jefferson.
Slug Jefferson.
Something to say.
So what does this performance and creative process mean to you?
Feeling in between people, space, always there, intangible. You all feel it.
And
Hold on, let me just check that.
yes,
Is
yes.
that better, Janelle? There you go.
Okay.
Give that a tester.
I know.
Janelle, are we good?
To me, Buto is
Hold on one sec. Janelle says the mic is. Let me just. Yeah,
Yes. We're very much into
I did. Oh, it might be.
malfunctions.
No, I think. There you go.
Okay, have a go.
Here you go, Captain.
I find Buto is a way to feel the body in its entirety. You empty the mind to feel the mind. You feel all parts of the body in order to express so much. And then the audience finds whatever they find in that.
Yes.
Can I just say they were both excellent answers, and you also have this performative way of speaking and pronouncing your words. I don't know if you guys do spoken word poetry, but you should. It's delightful.
And that's the thing, like Buto is about taking it's what you can't express with the voice. Yeah, so it's the expression through the body if you take the voice away. Yeah. So
Oh, we're swapping the. Get in here, Janella. You like being off camera? Well, guess what? You got to get in this right now.
all right. Beautiful, thank you.
Tag you out.
Thank you.
So with these costumes and the creation process, is it a group process or how are they made? I know, especially the wigs I've seen. I can't sort of see any except for this one I'm wearing, so I can't really look at it. But you've got these are crazy amazing. Like they look like fairy floss wigs. You've got a few pieces that are like very large in size and clearly very fiddly to create. Is that how? What does the construction process look like?
Yeah, so that's all me. You know, my background with fashion design, it's so technical, and I was a seamstress for so many years, and then like I had a big break from it, and then when I was starting this installation work, really the costume making is about deconstructionist. So if I can't tie it, I don't do it.
Oh, wow, that's a good rule.
Yeah. So I need to everything I use is tied with my hands. I'm not using a sewing machine ever these days. So it's I'm just coming up with stuff and it's just stuff that I collect from around me. Stuff just arrives, and then I very much bring the ensemble into the making process. You know, like these wigs that I've made, we've got like 10 of these. They're used in all sorts of ways. Very much wind-borne wigs. These guys are wearing them as well. Oh, that's one of Dia's sculptures that we're making something for yonder. So actually, that's a good point because all my stuff is soft. Everything is soft fibers. So my teachers for years have been saying to me, "Oh, you need to put in the hard." Yeah.
Is that part of it? Is that?
It's like that's just their recommendation to me. You need to amalgamate the hard with the soft, yeah. And so little piece of Dia's a blacksmith. Little piece of his work is here and here, and we are alchemizing that into a kind of a mode of transportation for what we're doing at yonder. Whoa. Yeah. So anyway, I come up with the stuff. It's very much it's a sensory experience, no thinking. It just happens. It just happens to me.
Yeah.
But I bring the group into the making process because sometimes we've got like a couple of weeks to make 10 of these. Yeah. So therefore, it's the group process of making that's a really important part of performing together. It's called deep hanging out, I suppose. Yeah, so that builds the bond between the ensemblists, and it's like when they're in the work, they also embody it. They also own the work. Yeah,
I've been most impressed by the performances I've seen you do than pretty much any performance I've seen at a festival ever. Like you guys definitely have a lot of talent behind you, and exactly what you were saying. Was it deep hanging out? Sorry,
yeah,
deep
it's
hanging
a concept.
Out.
Deep hanging out.
That shows. Like when I see you guys even not performing,
Yeah.
you're like a family. You're so close. You'll get each other. You'll support each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's really beautiful and really like necessary for a festival team in general, but particularly performance team.
Absolutely, and like these guys, like. They've been coming to classes with me, both Jefferson and Dave, for like several years now. So no one will start performing after like a couple of weeks of classes. It's like 6 months in at least. So there's a strong commitment, and obviously they're really, really like marinated in the practice before they start performing. But definitely, I'm interested in like the non-trained dancing body. It's about the everyday body. The older, the uglier you get in Butoh, the more beautiful you become. So it's really about, Butoh is about the lived in body. So like this we've got longevity. That's what's so beautiful about this form.
It just gets better. I'm getting the wrap up notice, but it's always a pleasure to talk to you. I have to say this has been a fantastic interview for me. One, because I feel like a princess in this dress right now. And two, because I always love talking to you and connecting with you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Houseband, when you play me off, can Can you just maybe double the time, because I have to get out of this before my next interview.
I can help you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, over to you guys.
I lose it.
Oh boy, I changed like a champ just then, but I also nearly tripped and ate shit. So thanks for coming in. Definitely appreciate talking to all of you, and it was really lovely catching up before the show as well. You're all clearly like genuinely nice people, which is always delightful. So that was an exciting noise. So I guess to begin, how long have you been making music together and then also separately? Because I know you've been involved in a few different projects, all of you.
Yeah, well, I guess it's different. There's like some crossovers between band members, but as this unit of the five of us, we actually had our first rehearsal today as the five of us.
I love that.
But this has been in the works for a few months, I guess. But yeah, then like Steele and I and Peter and I have played together for many years, and then I know like Sam and Peter have played together for many years, and yeah, there's various other crossovers. So I don't know. The answer to the question is I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what the answer
Many
is.
years. Let's just say 15.
Yeah,
collectively.
pick a number.
There you go. Great. Sold. So when you started this particular project,
Yes.
like quite new, relatively new. It's only been around a year or 2 years.
Not even.
Not even.
I guess start of this year.
Started this year, so you got the pre-COVID jitters, I think. So what was your artistic direction with this particular project? 'Cause I know often, particularly you're in like 50,000 bands.
50,000 bands.
50,000 bands. When you change between these ideas, did the ideas morph into something else? Are you sort of carrying, like, have you got a direction generally for yourself artistically? Or is this particular one something new?
Sorry, can you say that again?
What's your artistic vision for this particular project?
The artistic vision is probably ever changing and ever evolving. It's really just I write songs depending on the circumstances of my life and different things I'm feeling or learning about or experiencing, and then so that's kind of where the lyrical content comes from, and then we kind of figure it out as a band, and everyone brings different musical ideas. So then there's like another nice stage of the process is that collaboration that happens there. So it's really open. Like I'm not like we play this style or.
We only play 50 renditions of Wonderwall. That's it. That's
we're an
an
Oasis covers band. Yeah, forever and a day. No, so it's super open. I'm open to it being whatever.
So some of the fashion pieces I've seen you wear in your promo material and then also while you're performing. So Blake, if you could get up, let's go image C1 for me.
Oh yeah.
So this piece that you're wearing, with the
Colourful
little
number,
hand
isn't it?
earrings, I adore. And we were having
Thank
a
you.
chat a bit off screen about where these pieces come from, if you would like letting me know, because I hear that you're quite an artistic person on the making things side as well.
Yeah, I do really like making stuff. So those hand earrings, the hands came from this weird doll that I bought at an op shop, which was actually like a cushion. Is the weirdest thing I've ever bought. It was like a blue cushion, and then it had a head and arms and legs.
Jesus.
And I was like, who made this and why? And also, it's hilarious, and I have to have it. So then I pulled the arms off and made them into earrings.
I've actually had to cut the arms of a doll once as well, and I felt like really bad while doing it because the eyes, at least for me, were like staring me down. How did you go with
like
that?
Someone that looks just like that doll was like, ow.
Yeah, help me.
Yeah, no, it was all right because I don't think the cushion cover was a bit of an abomination, so I kind of felt all right about destroying
Putting
it.
you out of your misery.
It's like, no, it should not exist.
Blakey, can you get up C2 now?
Oh, yeah?
So this one, did you make the headpiece? Because it's amazing.
I did make the headpiece. So that headpiece I made out of a skirt, and I put wire in it, and I was trying to make a hood, and then it ended up being a bit of a triangle, and then, yeah, it kind of reminded me of like a mollusk, like a clam or something, or maybe an eye. Yeah.
In my head, and I'm not sure why it is, I think it might be a kid's cartoon from the 90s, and I'm remembering, all I can see is like a pterodactyl.
I love pterodactyls.
I love it. Pardon?
Pterodactyls are very cool.
Yeah, I do love it.
Do you have any pterodactyl friends?
It's a look. It's a total
I
vibe.
don't.
This is a pterodactyl sound.
Expertly done. I'm expecting that to be incorporated when you play up next. By the
I'm
way,
going to make
waiting
sounds that
patiently.
are weird.
So I want to ask a couple of questions now. I want at least 3 answers, but I'm happy if everyone wants to give an answer because I'd love to hear your beautiful voices. So, what's your most memorable or favourite performance so far in your musical career? And it doesn't have to be from this particular. I've got a chuckle already. I'm worried about your answer now.
I just know that I don't have one.
Oh, hold on. Got to be mic'd up, otherwise.
I think I can answer.
Yeah.
Quite a few years ago, actually Steele and Peter and I were all in another project I used to have called MKO, and we did a gig at Black Bear Lodge called No Diggity, and it was a 90s R&B covers night. And it was like one of the funnest. Yeah, definitely a very memorable experience. I just not on. Has nobody heard anything I've said? It doesn't matter. It's all been.
It's been amazing.
Sam, do you have a favorite?
I was playing in a band called Michelle Zen and the Neon Wild, and we were playing at this. Yeah. At Concrete Jungle. It was like the warehouse party for Jungle Love, I think.
Yeah, it was many moons ago now. I think I was doing a performance there that year too as well.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really hot, and we used to play with like samp backings and tracks and stuff, and I ran them, and I played the drums, and I had the tracks in my ear, and there was the PA just kind of completely went dead. And I didn't know because I was using my laptop and I was just still playing away, and I was the only one playing, and I was just wondering why everyone else wasn't playing the songs and just looking at me, and yeah, that was pretty cool.
We've got one question on the chat. Who does all of your laundry? I can never get my whites like this.
My mum. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I just bought this, so it hasn't had a chance to get dirty yet. Is that
it
the
is
same
a
for
stunning
everyone?
piece.
Yeah, I just bought this shirt yesterday.
These are just new. Yeah.
Yeah, you all look amazing. So we can continue on, I guess. Most memorable performance and why. I know you just said you didn't have one, but you could could give anyone. It could be happy birthday for your best mates.
No, I
dinner
honestly
party.
can't really remember. So like since COVID hit, I decided to keep a diary of all the gigs that I've done.
That's
because
a really
I
nice
honestly
idea.
could not remember, like, because I've done hundreds and they're all just lost in my mind.
Where'd you put them?
I can't remember.
To
You're
interview
not
people?
listening?
No, I'm not.
You can go for it, man.
That's okay.
Take it
I will.
away.
Where'd you put the gigs that you lost? Maybe it's in like your back pocket or something.
I actually really like that idea, and I do something similar. Back when I was in my wanky art stage, which thank God has passed, I used to do like short haikus on a gig, like at the finishing of the gig, and then I can read them back and be like, "Whoa, I was such a dickhead." But they're beautiful, and they create a perfect capture of that night as well. Oh!
Hey, watch out! There's a light.
Sorry, we just had someone whack his
there.
head on the light after he tried to steal that piece of
It's
pizza.
not
That was beautiful.
for your head to hit.
That was beautiful.
Okay, so when you said memorable, I thought you meant like good memorable.
Oh, it can be anything.
But, yeah. I can't remember anything good. I mean, it's yet to come. But I'm sure there's been good times. But you know how we just remember bad things, like we're sort of meant to remember bad things so they don't happen again?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's been lots of gig bloopers for me. So like keyboards falling down,
no.
sound cutting out, kind of like what
I
Sam
love
was
you.
saying
You were like,
before. Yeah, yeah. So I can't remember anything super specific, but it happens more often than not.
I agree with that. Working in events as well, there's always
Yeah.
something you're like, oh, fuck, why? Like, it would never happen normally, and it happens to go wrong when you
Yeah.
really need it not to.
Yeah.
I think one of my old bosses said, you make it in events not because you're good, but because you can handle shit going wrong nonstop. I was like, yeah, that about checks out. You're up, champ.
Champ. Sorry, yeah. Gig. Kind of, I guess, like running in the vein of maybe like memorable not being like the best thing. Like I feel like I've had a lot of like amazing gigs that I've really enjoyed and cherished and stuff. But there are some that are like, it's not even so much that the gig was bad, but like just stuff after. I played at like TEDx UQ one time, and they were doing this thing on like futurism, and that was really fun because they had like some scientist guy talking about these little brains that were trying to like make dream and stuff.
These little brains.
Yeah. They're like, hey, we got these fucking little brains making dream, blah. And
It sounds like one of my nightmares already.
I sound like one of your nightmares.
No,
Imagine
the
my
story
nightmares.
about tiny brains.
want to think about it.
They still sound like me. But anyways, yeah, I go upstairs and they're like, I'm like, oh, so what do you do? You know, and they're like, yeah, do little brain stuff. What do you do? I'm like, oh, I play guitar and stuff. And then yeah, on the like way home from the gig, yeah, like my bladder dropped when we got on the highway, and I pissed myself. And like, dude,
This
shut up,
is
it's
a
an
chaotic
interview.
evening.
Yeah,
And cool, yeah. So anyway,
we're like on the highway, and a friend of mine. Yeah, I mean, like I'll never forget that because like I'm in the car and I'm like, oh my god, dude, I have to like go like now. I was just telling Peter how weak my pelvic floor is. It's a
You can do
very,
exercises
very
for
weak.
that, I think.
You probably can. That is true.
He doesn't practice.
He doesn't
don't
practice.
ever. Yeah.
Next time. So we've got, what's your best triumph/victory in your career?
I didn't even finish the story. That's crazy.
Oh, didn't you?
No, that's all right.
Is there more?
Yeah, what else happened?
pissing yourself's a pretty good climax.
Like, that's what I just assumed. It was coming to
And
a
then I
natural
pissed myself.
conclusion.
It was more just about me having to go and like dry them off at my friend's house with a hairdryer and stuff.
Oh,
that was the
no.
worst part in all
Yeah,
my
smelly.
friends.
Yeah, it was smelly.
No, I
You had
washed
to
it with like
rinse them
shampoo. Huh?
Shampoo for my real friend. No, what is it? Shampoo for my fake friends, real poo for my sham friends.
Yeah. Except it was for my pants.
What was the next question?
Sorry, it was from one of the chat. What's been your best triumph/victory in your career?
Is yours the same? Pissing yourself? Is the same one? Same answer?
I was probably just getting those pants dry. Hey, it was good. In like 30 minutes.
Hit the goals
flat.
that evening.
Great. Okay, I'd say. I don't know. That's I think going to again with MKO, we went to New York in 2014, and just went not really knowing what the hell we were doing. I think I'd booked one show before we went over, and then got over there, managed to like meet some cool people who helped us out a little bit. Ended up playing like 8 shows all around the city with heaps of different cool bands, and just had a really fun time. So I'd say that.
That's a good story, actually. I'd love to, go into another country, but actually do something that I'm passionate about over there. Because I've only just travelled, which I am passionate about. It's not a bad thing to enjoy, but I think you'd connect with so many more interesting people when you're actually sort of doing a working holiday.
Totally. And like getting in on this like ground level just made the city like seem heaps friendlier or something. I was like, oh, it's just like a little place. It's like
gone to
Brisbane.
the
It
cool
was
spots
just,
that
like,
you wouldn't have
little
just
place.
stumbled upon. Like you found out about them because someone said, oh, come to this place, rather than you were looking at TripAdvisor or something.
That's it. Like, yeah, getting invited to like New York musicians like rehearsal spots, just like dingy little rehearsal sheds just like we have here, and just jamming there and being like, oh yeah, this is just kind of the same. They just do the same stuff, but
That's a great
bigger
wholesome
city.
news story. That was a good story.
Thank
good to finish on
you.
a
positive,
more wholesome note. You menace.
What
I
does
heard
wholesome actually mean?
on the chat? I am
I've never
Turbo.
owned a dictionary.
It said, this story did not disappoint about your story, as chaotic and odd as I expected. And then we've got another comment, which is question, what is your best dinosaur impression, sound and movement? I think it's for you.
Get up, come on.
Movement?
Yeah.
I've never actually met a dinosaur. Like, I can't really...
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
Who
I think it's
has,
all
actually?
theories, isn't it?
It's like classical music, like the second movement.
Who said that? Okay. Nah, that's just me. Sorry. What did pterodactyl do? Probably just fly.
Yeah, go on, show us.
It's dead.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Very accurate dinosaur impression.
Isn't this like...
Now my shirt's probably going to be dirty.
Like T-Rex?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, there you go.
Can
Love
I make
it.
the sound?
T-Rex.
Tyrannical.
Okay, I think it's time to love you and leave you. While you guys are setting up, Davy and I are just going to be throwing some banter. So take as long as you need, but also be as quick as you can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Too easy.
Okay, thanks again. It was really lovely hearing from you all, and I'm very happy you all got a chance to speak.
Thank you.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. You can pass that to me. There you go. Woo! Davy, baby, get up here.
They were probably like whale dinosaurs or something. You know, and they wouldn't have made a sound, not a fucking word, you know.
Look, you're not wrong. I did like the T-Rex personally.
Hello.
Hi.
No smooth transition there because we don't have a house band currently. I should have sung a song. I'm only thinking about this now, but it's too late.
I was just thinking about the dinosaur impression. I was very impressed.
Do you want to give us your best dinosaur impression?
No, he nailed it. He did what I would have done.
Perfect. It actually was very funny.
That's perfect. I don't know anyone else who could have done a better job, to be honest. I did want to know one thing.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie Dudley Do Right with Brendan Fraser? Absolute classic. You ever seen that?
I can Google it right now.
Yeah, Google it right now. I just wanted to share with you, I found that character to be one of the most sexiest portrayals by Brendan Fraser. And you're giving me big do-right energy right now. Sarah, big do-right energy.
Oh my God, you're stealing Blake's joke. He said this to me off camera.
No, this is completely original.
An hour ago, and you've heard him said it, and then tried to come on air and steal his thunder.
Nothing I do or say is fabricated. Everything I do or say comes from my little noggin here.
Genuine, authentic.
Does it impact how good it is, though? It's bang on.
Wait,
do you have that picture of Dudley Do Right?
So I've heard that there's a little bit of an update on the Tickeroony.
Really?
And no longer are we going to actually be picking it out. Intern Lincoln is off screen just to save us some time. So I think he's working on that at the moment, but we'll check back in later on that issue. But there's been a bit of a panel decision with the members of the audience off stage.
Cool. Okay.
Very exciting.
Well, that's exciting. That's, I mean, we could have a winner already. We'll just have
Who
to wait for
knows?
Pennsylvania to pull their finger out.
Oh, God.
Um,
Topical, relevant.
I'm
I really
politically
want to
active.
eat a piece of pizza, and I've still got lipstick on. And like the
Yeah.
moment this interview's over, I'm gonna.
Well, I'm really
eat
hoping
half.
chat didn't hear just then, but like a tiny little burp came out because I ate a piece of pizza. So look, you're probably better off waiting until your mic's off completely and you're done.
Well, apparently I got busted before. I was walking off camera, and then I saw on the chat it was like, "Sarah, your mic's still on." I was like, "What did I say?" I always get done for
What's
that.
that? There was that show where they caught that dude, the serial killer, because they did the interview, and then he went to the bathroom and he's like, "I killed them all" when it was in the bathroom.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
I forget.
Anyone? Can't remember that?
nah.
No.
That is I also love that he's so insane that he
Access
just
Hollywood
went
with.
to the bathroom after the interview and had to say to himself, "I killed
I
them
killed
all."
them all, of course
like,
I
who
did.
does that? You have
well,
to
that's
be
what you
really
did.
off the deep end.
Just that.
I wasn't admitting to killing anyone,
Oh.
was I? Oh God,
Yeah, I think you were in a fugue state.
the fugue state.
Yeah, that's another new word I learnt. I'm very excited for something. Do
Like,
you know what it is?
What band?
This band.
Yeah, I'm very very
They
excited.
they
too.
brought their own visuals.
I had
They're all in
soft
uniform.
little tears forming in my eyes during our sound check. It was very, very
Mm.
magical. I still get I think the best part about hosting this show is that once a month I get to go to a live gig.
A live gig.
Even when COVID was like at its peak.
Yeah. I live gigs. It's funny. I definitely took them for granted. You know, sometimes you get the little text like, "Hey, bruh, come check out this band at the Foundry tonight." And it's like, oh, maybe I could just stay home instead. And now it's like every time I turn down a live gig, it's like, bruh, you're paying for it now, aren't you, Dave?
I just got a little birdie in my ear asking a little favour. Apparently the chat wants to see your guns.
I don't have any guns, Sarah.
You clearly do, because I'm looking at
They're
them right
illegal
now
in
on the
this
Twitch live
country.
stream as the side shot of your
I
rippling
have no
arms.
idea what you're talking about. I don't go to the gym, all right? I don't care what chat says. They're not getting any of this tonight, okay? You're not having any of this unless you want to come on down to Superordinary and participate as part of the audience. There you go. Damn it, if you'd just waited 15 seconds, I wouldn't have had to do that.
So we got the call that the Bandaroo is ready, and I'm very excited. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen at home, and get ready to enjoy one heck of a show.
Thank you, Lake. Woo! Oh, sorry, chat, that would have been loud.
Thank you. We're going to play a song called Easy. This love of mine, it fills me up inside. I'm alive and I'm a light. I trust my heart to keep me on the path of good intention, joy, and laughter. I see you now. Romance is about to strike me like a drum. We lace it calm. I don't wanna rush. I don't wanna rush this. No, I don't wanna rush. I don't wanna rush this. So can you give me little pieces of you? One by one, space it out. I don't want
of you. One by one, space it out. I don't want to get bruised. An overwhelming ocean of what love should be. Love should be easy. Without the sun, I crumble like a crumb. Lonely ember at the end of the night. Only light. It burns so bright. Find the sweet spot. 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 The sweet spot. Sweet spot. I don't wanna rush. I don't wanna rush this. No, I don't wanna rush. I don't wanna rush this. So can you give me little pieces of you? One by one, space it out. I don't wanna get bruised. Overwhelming ocean of what love should be. Can you give me little pieces of you? One by one, space it out. I don't wanna get bruised. Overwhelming ocean of what love should be. Love should be easy. Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Would love to cheer really loudly right now, but I can't because I'm mic'd up. I'm usually that guy that goes.
But listen more. So welcome back. That was phenomenal, and also it does look amazing over the white outfits. You were on to a real thinker with that idea.
Of course, it makes so much sense
good.
now. Incredible.
So first up, we're actually going to be doing the winner. I don't know if everyone can see this.
Hello, little person inside the machine.
I don't know, maybe, Davy, if you should hold it up closer to the camera.
There's a person in here.
He's alive!
Here we go.
Oh,
yeah, here's a, right
Is that
here.
on? Do you need me to check if that's on?
Is this on?
Yeah, okay.
It's on. Okay.
So do you want to tell us why the panel decided that you were the winner of the double passes to Yonder? Could you tell us a little story?
I think because it's a double pass, I'm not too sure who's going to get the other one yet, but I think I might throw it to my housemate Nick in return for some acts of service, like a gardening hand. Because
Is that your love language? Acts of service?
I think everyone wants like acts of service to be your love language, because then if you choose like gifts, then it makes you feel materialistic and
Yeah. I definitely like I like a good hug.
Oh, sweet boy.
Physical touch, I think, is the proper name for it. Didn't get a whole lot when I was younger, you know. And how many housemates do you have?
I got 3 others. Jaya.
Oh.
Fight to the death. Which housemate are you bringing?
I think
one of them has a broken leg, so they're definitely they know they're written off.
So he's got a broken leg and he can't go to a festival. That sounds like a double knife.
Yeah, he can't really walk too much at the moment.
So just the 2. I think you should pit them against each other.
Yeah.
No, that's the appropriate response. I mean, look, if we're talking about gardening favours, you could just give them half of the garden each, right? And then whichever one looks better. And then everyone splits the 3rd ticket.
Yeah.
And then
true.
everyone only pays a 1/3 of the ticket price to go to the festival together.
I feel like you've thought this out more than me.
I mean, sure.
Yeah. No, that sounds like a good idea, except, I don't know, do you entrust them to maintain the yard? I don't know. I'm pretty particular.
It's not. Yeah, look, being very, very familiar with your housemates, yeah, look, I probably would trust them. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like really, really excited about these pumpkins that I got growing right now.
Are they the green ones or the orange ones?
They're going to be the green ones.
Yeah, they're my favourite. Did you have any comments, Sarah, or am I just holding our son here?
Just holding our
yelling
child.
things at him.
So I guess we say a big congratulations to you, and we might carry on with the host closeout. Janella, could you take our son from us?
Love you, son. We'll see you soon, okay?
Pleasure talking.
Say hi to everyone there for me. Bye. Don't forget to call.
Fare thee well. So what was your fave for this evening, Dabby baby?
Oh, man, so much. And all different little...
It's not an answer. So much.
So much, bruh. All different little flavours. I mean, you've got the pizza. Also, Cut and Cook. Just constantly bringing the pizza out. That is ridiculous.
Bringing the goods. Trent Wildman.
Incredible. I got to start there because that was like, that was the umami of the evening. And then obviously moving on to visuals, Theatre of Thunder, always fully on board.
Great job,
and fully
everyone.
immersed in everything that they do. The Hill at Yonder last year, I actually saw a lot of comments. There were a bunch of comments in the chat talking about flashbacks to the Hill.
Blake, I believe the image we need to get up if we're talking about the Hill is C3 or A3. A3. Yeah, there we go. That's the Hill.
Amazing.
At Yonder.
So this is Yonder last year, right?
Yep, 2019.
Yeah. Incredible. I would just...
Pretty phenomenal stuff. So like everyone essentially, for those that haven't been to Yonder, there's like a pilgrimage up the top of the hill on Sunset. So everyone like walks up this thing that is so steep, you feel like you just become very aware how unfit you are, in short. And you finally get to the top and you've got like your esky filled with beers because the festival's BYO. You like sit up there with a group of your mates, like all arm in arm. And you watch the sun go down to like the tantalating music and show put on by Theatre of Thunder. Like it's such an iconic moment of that festival.
Oh, it just seamlessly blends into the environment that you're in, which is you're on this beautiful, stunning countryside hill with the sun setting down there, super orange sky. It's just a beautiful moment.
Yeah, I can't
Every
stress
time.
enough, if you haven't got your ticket yet, I'd be jumping on it. Like you're not going to regret going, I guess. There's no way that you're going to regret going. And last year we got to see a little bit of a mini dust tornado very late on the last day when everyone had already left, but we had to pack up our installation.
Yeah.
And
Out
it
in the
took this
desert.
girl's clothes up to a tree and dump them, and we laughed for like 6 hours afterwards. She was
Yeah.
like trying to get them down with sticks.
Get my clothes out of the tree, please, sir.
And there's this massive frog pond as well, which when you've had one too many beers is great to just like go down and sit next to.
I
and
love
just, like,
froggies. And no toads, just frogs.
Yeah,
so you
it's
know
like
it's
a
a
little
good
wetland.
area. Yeah.
It's very sweet.
And then of course Lake. Like that was phenomenal. And the house band as well. Just wall to wall expert musicians, fully immersed in what they're doing. I love a good live band that are all packed with really good musicians and they're all in it together. That's just what I'm about.
So we had an apology from Alia with the snake, by the way, for this evening. She broke down on M3 on the way here.
Oh, no.
And her dad had to come get her and then wasn't keen on dropping her here with the snake and then also having to pick her up in a bit. So she's bailed on this evening, but she will be on for our Christmas special, which will be in a month's time. I'm going to do a whole thing in a Santa outfit and not one of those sexy ones. Like I'm actually going as an old man with a beard. It's going to be great. And we're going to have to make sure the aircon is on full ball because we are going to be in the middle of summer and I'm going to be wearing some shitty plastic fabric.
Yes, please.
Janelle just said in my ear.
Yes.
Will do. We will make sure that aircon is on for you.
Look, that's fine. One question for you though, Sarah.
Yep.
Do snakes get car sick?
Oh, fuck. That is a good question.
Dogs?
I don't know, but one time I did see a big, massive carpet python eating a bat. And it was like traumatizing because it was not really fitting in.
That wasn't the...
And then the python threw it up again.
Oh, really?
And, yeah,
Did
it
the
was
bat fly away?
still one of the worst things I've seen.
No, bat didn't fly away,
bat
did
was
it? Bat was
dead.
dead, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
bat
okay.
was dead. Sorry, that's a sad news story to end
Yeah,
on.
well, what I was saying is like if they're curled up, right? If you got a full little tummy and you're in a bus like me and you're like it's going back and forth, and then they tell you to look at the horizon or eat some garlic tablets, and never bloody works, does it? Right? It's
They
all
tell
going.
you to eat garlic tablets. Is that a thing? I didn't know that.
It's all going back and
I thought
forth.
it was like
That's why I couldn't snog anyone in school.
isn't it bicarb soda or something? It's like something.
Anyway,
like
so if a snake's all curled up, then is it like going around in their tummy like in the circular motion, or is it going back and forth like this? Mysteries of the universe. Anyway, that was my question. That's all I had. I am fresh out of ideas.
I love it. Brilliant question. Amazing. No fucking idea. Maybe we'll
Okay.
Google it after the show and we'll post it in the chat while these guys are playing this.
Do you want to come around maybe for a little vodka lime soda and we can Google it together maybe?
Sure.
Just friends.
Yes.
Yeah. Sick.
Okay, look, we're going to go back to the band now. Definitely not going to have that drink with you. But, yep, carry on. Thank you for joining us for this episode. We'll see you in a month and catch D&D on Thursday.
Thanks for putting up with me. Take it
Every
away, Lex.
Thursday.
How to sleep when my body's taken. Thank you. Thanks, Superlate.